The brain wants us to play. And so stress and anxiety get in the way of that all the time. And it's the number one thing that we see in our office. I would say stress and anxiety, number one, sleep problems after that, and all sorts of things that come with stress and anxiety problems, eating too much, drinking, all of that type of thing. So stress is really one of the root causes of people seeking hypnosis services. How does hypnosis work? Hypnosis is a filtering and focusing mechanism. I like to think of it as a camera sometimes. We're going to focus in on certain things and filter everything else out. So the client can be fully present and thinking about one thing, so focused that they are noticing everything about a particular experience. However, we are directing their mind. Okay. It's very powerful. The way that it works is that it depotentiates the left hemisphere. And that gets rid of what we call the critical factor or the guards at the gate. Some people call it the ego. Some people call it that judge in the back of your mind that has a comment on every single thing that's going. We depotentiate that part of the mind, that judging part. And when that part is quiet, we get to the truth. We get down into subconscious where the truth resides. So we get to the truth of the situation, the truth of the experience, and we get to understand the limiting beliefs become quite apparent when we get into hypnosis. So it's surprising for our clients. 3 things usually come out of it. There's usually something erroneous, something that wasn't necessarily true, that the brain thought was true, that we can get rid of. We get to validate the truthful things that showed up during the session. And this is where we get to see our clients shift. So they might shift from fear, from debilitating fear where they can't even speak, to powerful unfairness and anger. And we see people switch from anxiety to anger all the time. And it's a good thing when that happens, because now the client isn't afraid anymore. Now they're upset that this happened to them, and now we can empower them. Okay, so we see this happen all the time in hypnosis. The client enters into an altered state of consciousness. We're normally hanging out in beta brain waves, which are a little bit faster. And some people would consider that that is the critical factor of the mind. It is there for critical thinking. And when we move into hypnosis, we are mostly tapping into an alpha brainwave state, which is daydreamy, and a theta brainwave state, which is extremely imaginative. And this is where we can get direct access to what the subconscious mind is thinking. It's very powerful. All right, hypnosis is accelerated learning, lightning fast, and permanent change. If you guys are aware of what a phobia is, okay? A phobia is a learned fear, okay? It's a learned fear, and we can learn that fear immediately, right? The brain's organized and oriented to keep us safe, So we can learn a fear, aka phobia, in an instant. And guess what? The brain can learn good things in an instant too. And that's really what hypnosis is. We get to bypass all the BS in the conscious mind, and we go directly to the source to retrain, reprogram, relief, set free limiting beliefs. Okay. You might have seen this image before of the iceberg. We've got the conscious mind on top, where we normally are thinking that all of our thinking is taking place. But we know that the bigger part of who we are is in the subconscious mind. We consider the heart. And that is exactly what we tap into when we're tapping into the subconscious mind with hypnosis. Willpower, if you guys are familiar with willpower, right? A lot of people want to use willpower so that we don't eat the sugar at the end of the day. You don't have the cigarette, you don't have that drink, right? And willpower can be effective, but it's also energy driven. It's part of the conscious mind. And we have to remember over and over, oh yeah, I'm not drinking. Oh, I'm not smoking. Oh, I'm not doing that. Once we get tired, that dissipates, right? So we might have excellent plans first thing in the morning to go work out and eat healthy. But at some point during the day, something happens at work, or we get stressed, or we get irritated, and we no longer feel like it anymore. So out goes those plans, and in comes Starbucks and Netflixing or something like that, right? We want to get into the subconscious. We want to make the change not here in the conscious mind. We want to make the change in the deeper part, which is the subconscious mind. And so we aren't going to be dealing with the willpower, which isn't as powerful. Okay. Hypnosis uses the subconscious mind, which is unlimited and makes up about 90% of your total brain power.